This is a gamer motivation profile. It is a way of categorizing people based on what motivates them to play games, hence the name. The survey that you need to take for your profile to be determined is made by Quantic Foundry. In their website, they say, quote, Quantic Foundry is a market research company focused on gamer motivation. We combine social science with data science to understand what drives gamers, end quote. Their goal is to gather information about gamers and provide insight to game developer and publishers for them to reach their target audiences. So instead of your information being stolen, you give it to them willingly. The survey evaluates your answers and determines how much you fit the description of these 6 main components and their 12 subcomponents. With these 12 values, the website puts you in categories. For me, it was skirmisher with a pinch of acrobat. According to this, skirmisher title players tend to like fast-paced online games that does not require much thinking, reset every round, and are spontaneous. However, acrobat title players tend to like games that require thinking and planning. They also like to practice repeatedly to perfect their skills and beat the stronger bosses or overcome greater challenges in doing so. These two titles seem to contradict each other, but the components may not. Let's take a look at some stats. I scored the highest on destruction and excitement. This fits the description of skirmisher. According to this, I am an agent of chaos and destruction. I love having many tools at my disposal to blow things up and cause relentless mayhem. Well, that seems accurate. And according to this part, I love fast-paced, intense games that provide a constant adrenaline rush and also reward me for my fast reaction time. That also seems accurate. This is Titanfall2, developed and abandoned by none other than EA. In this game, you have to constantly be on the move. If you're not, your free trial of life expires. Playing it does not require much skill. You jump down, shoot your shot. If you're lucky, you also get to get on your Titan and stop some grunts as if they were horseflies. But getting better at it? That requires practice and a better understanding of the movement mechanics. The only thing I've mastered so far is dying. Which fits the title of skirmisher pretty well in my opinion. The adrenaline rush you get when you're in the middle of the map could kill an elderly person. When you're there, the answers to questions like, where are they attacking from, or how fast are they going, are definitely not what you expect. One moment, you're running on the ground, and another, you're flying towards an enemy whilst emptying your magazine, and getting scoped, because you had a predictable trajectory, apparently. Or, in another, you're making your Titan send 3000 rounds per minute directly to the enemy's weak spot. There are 7 types of pilots. The mainly used ones are grapple, which lets you ignore all the map design developers had put hours of work on, and recently modified phase shift, which in my opinion is the most overpowered one. On use, it boosts you, and on second use, it pulls you back to the point you started to boost at. The others are lame, they rarely get picked, and shield players might just be extinct. So of course I play the one that makes you zoom from one end of the map to another, phase shift. So far, the survey has been consistent with the profile it created for me, at least about the skirmisher part. I even ignored Titanfall 2's campaign, is what I would say if I did ignore it. I mean, it wasn't really story driven, more like a series of puzzles, so I played it. I think the reason I got assigned Acrobat is the mastery components part. Even though challenge is high at 85%, most part of the strategy bar is missing. Just like the essential parts of my brain that would be required to plan things out, because I don't. It says, these gamers play at the highest difficulty and don't mind failing missions repeatedly in games like Dark Souls because they know it's the only way they'll ever master the game. That is exactly what I do, especially in Souls-like games. Okay, calling Armored Core 6 a Souls-like might be a stretch, but I think at least fighting mechanics qualify, right? You got your dodge, heavy attacks that won't let you out of the attack animation, and bosses you die to hundreds of times.
Attacking a watch point. You're incorrigible, Handler Walter. How many of your dogs must I kill before you learn?
The way this game works is that you're a mercenary and you get assigned missions. No open world, you click on missions to go to the area and unleash every single weapon system you can attach to your mech. Whilst trying to do that, you also get blown up. A lot. Then you have to try again. And again.
Was it worth it, Walter?
And again. But in the end, you succeed.
30%.
Walter.
Oh, that wasn't even the final boss. You can also change weapons and optimize your mech's kit for the next mission. There are some numbers there, but we all know I won't even bother checking out the things I deem not explosive enough. Right? Wrong. Under the achievement components, there's a subcomponent called power, and it is at 75%. These types of players seek to become as strong as possible in game. I do as well, but the things that will make me strong also need to fit my playstyle. So I would not choose the heaviest armor and most explosive weapons in exchange for my mobility. I cannot really tell if 75% is accurate, but since I know I don't care about it as much as I care about action, I think it suits. Completion, on the other hand, is at 61%, and I definitely do not care about it as much as it is represented there. There are only a few games that have more than 90% of the achievements, and none of them were intentional. I really need to get creative with my segues. Talking about creativity, I surprisingly have a subcategory in that region that has 93 points, and that is discovery. According to this, players who score high on this subsection tend to ask what if and play their games as if they were a playtester. The first thing I do usually is to try and go as further away from the spawn as possible to see the map's actual limits.
In combat mode.
Commence mission. First, get through all that dust to make contact with the Strider.
I usually test hitboxes as well, so pretty fitting I would say. After seeing the score, the points drop just like the stock market did when I tried investing. Design is at 19%. This part is about expressing oneself, as far as I understood. I usually don't bother creating a detailed character for myself. I just go with whatever is on the character's creation menu, or if there's a color I like, I use that, but nothing more. It seems I don't really care about me being integrated to the story. That is also proven by my immersion component scores. My score for story is literally 0. I have nothing to say about this. I don't remember playing any story games on my own, willingly. And then there's fantasy, which is at least not at 0. Players who score high on this subcomponent like immersing themselves in the game and become someone else, basically role-playing. Well, I guess I like mercenary role in Armored Core 6, but I usually don't think about it. So that explains 23%, I suppose. Lastly, there are the social components. I unfortunately can only comment on one of the subcomponents, competition. The other component is about playing with friends, but I haven't done that in a while. Not willingly, just didn't get the chance to. For a couple of years. Anyways, competition is about having rivals. If you like being better than other people, okay, this is probably not how I should phrase this. If you like competing with people for better stats, items, or scores, then you would score high on these components, which I did at 78%. That is why I like Titanfall2. It's a multiplayer team match game. I recently got into Helldivers 2 as well, but that is not for this video. This test seems to be the most accurate online categorizing test I've ever seen, except the Acrobat title, competition subcomponent, and the recommended games. Other than those, everything seems pretty close to what it actually is. I actually like less than half of the games this survey results have recommended to me, but it's alright. The rest was accurate. And that's it, I suppose. Well, thank you for watching.